Hello guys, welcome back to Code and Test. So today we are in the third video in DP203 series. So if you are planning to take Azure Data Engineering certification, that is DP203, you are on the right place. I'll be sharing some set of questions, 200 and 250 questions, out of which you can expect 60 plus questions in your exam and you can clear your exams today. So let's start. So if you're watching for my video for the first time, I have added two more videos before this video. Please watch this and come back. Okay. Moving to the question number 12. You use Azure Data Factory to prepare data to be queried by Azure Synapse Analytics Serverless SQL pool. Files are initially ingested into an Azure Data Lake storage Gen 2 account as 10 small JSON files. Each file contains the same data attributes and data from subsidiary of your company. You need to move the files to a different folder and transform the data to meet the following requirements. The first requirement is to provide the fastest possible query time, and second requirement is automatically infer the schema from the underlying files. So what is the copy behavior and what is the sync file type we have to use over here? The copy behavior should be preserve hierarchy and sync file type should be pocket. So this is the question over here. So how should you configure the data factory copy activity? Okay, so that is the question, and your answer is copy behavior should be preserve hierarchy and sync file type should be pocket. So hierarchical names is really useful for greatly improves the performance of the directory, and pocket format is supported for the Azure Data Storage Gen 2. So I hope you got the answer for this question. So moving to the question number 13. So this is a kind of a data warehousing concept question, and here you have a data model that you plan to implement in a data warehouse in Azure Synapse Analytics as shown as below. So we have 3 dimension tables and 1 fact table. All the dimension table will be less than 2 GB after compression, and the fact table will be approximately 6 TB. The dimension table will be relatively static with very few data insert and updates. Which type of table should you use in each table? So what is the data? What is the table type you have to use over here for dimension and fact table? That is a question. So the question will be look like this. So we have these dimension tables and the fact tables. Dimension tables are used by replicated tables, and the fact tables is hash distributed. So replicated tables are ideal for small star schema dimension table. So we have to select replicated tables. Okay. Then fact tables fact table use hash distribution with clustered column store index. So we have to use hash distributed for fact table. So I hope you got the answer for this question. So moving to the question number 14, you have an Azure data lake storage into container. Data is ingested into the container and then transferred by a data ingestion application. The data is not modified after that. User can read files in the container but cannot modify the files. You need to design a data archiving solution that meets the following requirements. So the two requirements are new data is accessed frequently and must be available as quickly as possible. And second requirement is a data that is older than 5 years is accessed infrequently but must be available within 1 second when requested. Data that is older than 7 years is not accessed after 7 years, and data must be persisted at the lowest cost possible. Cost must be minimized while maintaining the required ability. So here you have these two options over here. 5-year-old data is kind of, they have mentioned that infrequently but must be available within 1 second when requested. So that is the best option is the cold storage. And if when you go for the 7 years old data, and data must be at the lower cost possible. So the best option to save the cost and the lowest cost possible is archiving the data. So move into archiving storage. So that is the right option over here. So question number 14 and the answers are move to cool storage and move to archive solution for the 7 years and the 5 years. Okay, I hope you got the answer for this. So moving to the question number 15. This is kind of a syntax based question. So you just need to know what is the syntax which you need to put over here and why we are using distribution, all those things. Okay, so you need to create a partitioned table in an Azure Synapse Analytics dedicated SQL pool. how should you complete the transaction SQL statement? To answer this, drag. Okay, so you have some values over here in the left side, and you have to put the drag and drop over there. And here it's directly set for distribution, and the partition is the right answer over here. So distribution is equal to hash, which means that assigns each row into one distribution by hashing the value stored in the distribution column name. And table partition is nothing but that partitioning of the data in the table. So this is the right option over here, distribution of the partition. So just understand why we are using distribution partition is based on the syntax and all. Okay, so moving to the question number 16th. You need to design an Azure Synapse Altx dedicated SQL pool that meets the following requirements. Can return an employee record from a given point in time, maintain the latest employee information, minimize the query complexity. How should you model the employee data? So this is kind of a data warehousing concept model. So if you want to store the historical data, the best option over here is the slowly changing dimension 2. So here the answer is as type to slowly changing dimension SCD table. So data warehouse load process detects and manages changes in the dimension table. So this is the question number 16th. And moving to the question number 17. You have an enterprise-wide Azure data lake storage Gen2 account. The data lake is accessible only through an Azure virtual network named VNet1. You are building in SQL pool in Azure Synapse that will use data from the data lake. Your company has a sales team. All the members of the sales teams are in Azure Active Directory group named sales. POSIX controls are used to assign the sales groups access to the files in the data lake. You plan to load data to the SQL pool every hour. You need to ensure that the SQL pool can load the sales data from the data lake. Which three actions should you perform? Okay, so there are some set of instructions has been given over here. A to F, and you have to select out of which three. So add the managed identity to the sales group. That is the first option. Use the managed identity as a credential for the data load process. Use the shared access signature as a credential for the data load process. So you need to ensure that the SQL pool can load the sales data from the data lake. So above let's set of requirement has been given. So you have to select A, B, E for meeting the requirements. Moving to the question number 18. You have an Azure Synapse Altx dedicated SQL pool that contains the user shows in the following table. So user 1 and user 2, and user 1 have the server admin role, and user 2 is the DB date reader. Okay. And user one execute the below query as an database, and the query returns the result shown as the following exhibit, and we have got the result. User so we have this name, table name, data type is masking function, everything is there. User one is the only one user who has access to the unmasked data. You use the drop down menus to select the answer. Okay, so that's the question. So here you have to understand that user one have the server admin privileges over here, and the second user have the DB date reader. So that is the main thing which we have to focus over here. The question is, when user 2 queries the yearly income column, what values will be returned? So answer is 0. And when user 1, so because user 2 is without the server admin access and date reader access, and when the user 1 queries the birth date column, the values returned, what will be the values returned? Because it returns the values stored in the database. So why in the user 2, when user selects the user 2, why 0 has been written? Because the yearly income column is out of is of memory data type. The default masking function full masking according to the data type of the designated field. When in the box 2, the value stored in the data type, user with administration privilege are always executed from masking and see the original data without the masking. So that is about the administrator privileges have for the user 1, and with the and user 2 doesn't have that administrator privilege. Okay, so that's the answer, because it's both are masked actually. Moving to the question number 19, you have an enterprise data warehouse in Azure Synapse Analytics using Polybase, and you create an external table named ext. External table, the table name is called items, to query a Parquet file stored in the Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2 without importing the data into the data warehouse. The external table has 3 columns. You discover that the Parquet file have the 4th column named item ID. Which command should you run to add the item ID column to the external table? So here the option is I prefer the C option, because we have this drop and create, because only these data definition language statements are allowed in the external tables. So whenever you choose the external tables, we can choose only the drop and create. So here, create table and drop table, create statics and drop statics, create view and drop view. So create and drop is some mandatory things over here. So here, first option have only alter, and second have the drop and create. That is external type file format. That's not a right answer, and D will alter and add. So the third option will be app for here, drop external table and create external table. So that is the right answer over here for question number 19. So just mark it off. Then question number 20. You have two Azure storage account named storage 1 and storage 2. Each account hold contains and has the hierarchical namespace enabled. The system has files that contains data stored in the Apache Parquet format. You need to copy folder and files from storage 1 to storage 2 by using data factory copy activity. The solution must meet the following requirements. No transformation must be performed. The original folder structure must be retained. Minimize time required to perform the copy activity. How should you configure the copy activity? That is the question over here. The source dataset side should be the packet, and the copy activity behavior should be preserve hierarchy. This is the right options over here, so you have to choose it over here. So why packet? Packet data sets are the type, the property of the copy activity source must be set to packet source. That is a requirement. And preserve hierarchy, or preserve the file hierarchy in the target folder. Target folder. The relative path of the source file to the source file is identical to the relative path of the target file to the target folder. So that is the right option we have selected over here. So question number 20. I hope you get the better understanding about the question and answers. So we are coming to end of this series and video. So this will be the kind of questions you can expect in your data engineering question. So as of now, we have reached a 20. So you can expect some 100 more questions from my side. Out of this 100 question, you can expect at least 60 plus questions. And if you have a basic understanding of how data engineering works, and if you learn these terms one by one up to this 150 plus question, you will surely pass clear the data engineering certification. So, oh, happy learning, guys. All the best. Thank you for watching my video. Yep. Thank you. Happy learning. Bye bye.